Yo, what up guys, Travic here, and today I want to talk about one of the craziest builds I've managed to play in Season 10 of Project Diablo. I originally started this season off on a Paladin, and then I was looking for something a little bit more exciting, a little bit faster, and something that just made mapping a little bit more trivial. A couple of suggestions that came across my way, and I looked into a few things, and I eventually landed on this Whirlwind Assassin. This character is fast, it is quick, it is snappy, it deals a metric ton of damage, and it has just deleted all kinds of mapping content. This character has also had the ability to scale up in upgrades, and you can pretty much play it on an extreme budget and start clearing all of the content, and there are infinite upgrade paths. Today we're going to take a look at the character, how it plays, how you level it, what you do with it, and I've even managed to put together completely different gear sets and budget options to just pretty much get you rolling. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about or what this character is, essentially this is a Whirlwind Assassin, and it is completely built off of this Rune Word. Chaos, a rune word that is a foul combination, allows us as an assassin to get 2 points into a skill called Blade Dance, or pretty much known as Whirlwind. So essentially what that means is if I take my assassin and go run out here, and I have Blade Dance and this weapon on, my assassin can whirlwind like, a barbarian. And with, a very basic gear on, I can clear, Trist really easy. I can go to Chaos really easy. And I can clear a lot of different content. And we'll take a look at mapping content and stuff like that. But the character itself plays really, really, really smooth. You pretty much go out into the world. You have your gear on. You have a weapon swap to buff yourself up. And then you just go clear and you blow up all of the content. As you can see here, takes 2 seconds. We get our character up and running. We're going through the chaos. This is a level 85 zone. We don't even have cap resistances at the moment. We have very little sheet damage, and you can see we can just survive with the best of them. Now, even our mercenary doesn't even have very good gear on, and we'll go over him in a minute, but I figured I'd just showcase a little bit of play. Now, I know majority of you guys are probably doing mapping or you want to do mapping, but majority of build guides immediately jump straight into maps and they show you the top end of builds. I know a lot of players out there are struggling to get currency, or they're still kind of looking into that midway thing. They don't know if they should invest or shouldn't invest, or some people just like to farm things like Chaos Sanctuary. So before we jump right into a map, I figure I showcase a little bit about the character, talk about what it does, and then we can put on some other gear, or even use this gear and hop into a map and just kind of show what it does. Now, the pretty much TLDR is we are playing a melee, physical-based, spin-to-win assassin. You don't have to do anything. You hold right click, you clear all the content in the game. You barely need to worry about anything. Every so often, once in a while, you'll have to pop a rejuve, but overall your health pool just kind of like doesn't die. You don't really do anything. And if I take a look at the stats on this character, which we'll look at after this pack, I personally on this character haven't died many times at all. I think it's dot deaths. I've died a grand total of 27 times. I am level 92, and as I mentioned, this character has just managed to completely trivialize essentially all content in the game outside of Ubers. I did actually manage to do Uber Ancients, and I did Uber Trist. I will actually include a clip of Uber Trist at the end of this video for you guys to see. But overall, the content that this character can do is fairly simple and straightforward. The character is a fizz-based attack character in melee range. All of your damage comes from Whirlwind, hitting 4,672 times a second. Essentially, you just constantly hit so fast and so hard, it abuse instant leash and you get all of your life back immediately. And the only things that you really have to worry about in terms of killing you are, did it hit you really hard? Did it hit it faster than you can hit it? Were you out of range of hitting it? And were your resistances actually just completely negative? Like, if your resistances aren't negative, you will be absolutely positively fine. Now, this character really excels in a couple of things. One, it is quick. It is very, very, very fast. The burst of speed allows us to move at the speed of light through all content. This character does indeed have a teleport. You can indeed teleport as long as it's up, and you can reposition yourself very, very, very nicely. This character, like I mentioned, is fizz based. There are not many fizz immunes in the game, so you have that advantage of being fizz based. And it also specializes in poison, so when you do run across something that is fizz immune, as long as it's not fizz, poison, lightning, cold immune, you should be able to kill it. And now I say it the way I say it because Chaos gives you Frozen Orb, Chaos gives you Spark, or is it Charge Bolt? Charge Bolt. Granted, those aren't your biggest damage dealers, but they are extra forms of damage that help you clear. You also do a metric ton of damage with Venom, and you shouldn't really have too much of a problem finding mobs at any stage that you just really can't kill. You even see here right now with Diablo, we are just completely positively melting him down, and he is just not an issue at all. We get ourselves some nice loot, and we're able to really move on. Now, in this little showcase and demo, you can see my inventory is full of different gear, and we'll kind of go over everything. Right now, in the complete budget of budget setups to play this character and get this character rolling, you absolutely, without a doubt, 100% of the time need this weapon. If you do not have this weapon, you cannot play this character. It is completely unplayable in this spec because you just don't even have access to the skill. There are ways to level it, and we'll talk about that. But overall, the character is played 100% with this weapon. You want to get a War Fist. A War Fist will be your best friend. It is the hardest hitting base to my knowledge, and essentially it is just what you want. The Rune Word makes the weapon indestructible, so you do want an ethereal War Fist, and you can get pretty much almost any plus the skills on it that you can find. As long as it's a War Fist and as long as it's 3 sockets, you are just good to go. Overall, it's like 0.8 of a high rune to put the weapon together. The base shouldn't be, fingers crossed, too expensive. The rest of the gear in the complete budget setup is very straightforward. We use an Atmos Scarab. This allows us to have the ability to have amp damage. This helps us break immunes. If you don't have this amulet, you can actually, put amp damage with a Reaper's Toll, but this amulet with a bad corrupt shouldn't be too expensive, but there are pretty much, you could just equip an amulet, bro. Just put on any amulet. It really doesn't matter. Even if the thing is fizz immune, like, you're just going to hit it anyways and going to die. But if you need amp damage, you have options for Reaper's Toll or this. The helmet, I put on Steel Skull for double mana. The attack speed does nothing. This gives us a little faster hit recovery, a little bit of magic find to play around. Other options for a budget include Vamp Gaze, very, very strong helmet, or Rock Stopper to just give you a really, really nice amount of PDR and some resistances and faster hit recovery to get rolling. The body armor in the complete budget setup, I went with Rattle Cage. I mean, it just gives you a little bit of extra damage, some attack rating, some crushing blows, some defense. It's, for what it does, it's really strong. You have other options. There is a Rune Word called Lionheart that you can get. Lionheart is pretty good. I have the rune calculator to show you, but we can use Lionheart for enhanced damage, strength, dex, vitality, resistances, life. Lionheart is a really, really good suggestion, but I figure since maybe some people don't have a Lum or a Foul and they spent all their currency on an Ohm, we would showcase another, something that you can find off the ground. My second claw is a Jade Talon. This is a really, really solid budget option. Ideally, you would get a Jade Talon socketed with 3 sockets or corrupted with 3 sockets, and you could put 3 Dole runes in that Jade Talon. Dole rune being a very, very cheap rune, you should be able to pick them off the ground fairly simple. The Dole rune is going to give you 20% ED, and the more sockets you have in your weapon, the more damage you're going to do. Right here, right now, this is like completely bad, and we just went through all of the content in the game, or well, pretty much all of the content in LOD without really any struggles, and we're going to take this into a map in a second. Your other budget option would be a Bartox. You can get a Bartox with a really good percent enhanced damage roll, once again corrupted with 3 sockets for 3 Dole runes, just to kind of get the ball going. As you progress your character, we'll talk about other upgrades and places to go. Your gloves, you're going to be using a Lay on Hands for your completely budget setup. This will just give you damage to demons, a little bit of resistances, but you can pretty much just do exactly like the helmet and the amulet. Just equip anything, literally anything. It doesn't even matter. Your belt, we have a String of Ears. String of Ears, I would say, is pretty non-negotiable. This gives you a lot of life leech, a lot of magic and PDR. it's just a really good defensive layer. I really like String of Ears a lot. You can do Verdungos, but String of Ears is relatively on the cheaper side, and I really suggest String of Ears. We're using a Raven Frost for Can't Be Frozen. Mine was corrupted. I corrupted it for attack rating. You really don't need the extra attack rating, but you know, you really kind of want the Raven unless you can find Can't Be Frozen somewhere else. Your options are corrupted rare rings or just rare crafted rings with 50% Can't Be Frozen on both rings. My other ring is actually a rare ring I just picked up off the floor and slammed on 5 all attributes. And I mean, like, it just is magic fine. And I was like, sweet, we're just going to add in some magic fine, some attributes, a little bit of resistances and attack rating, you know, as we go. And boots, I just grabbed Nat's boots off the floor. Any boots will work in a budget setup. This character has what feels like infinite scaling in terms of its gear. Its gear just feels like it can absolutely positively scale to the moon. The gear that I actually use on my assassin and that I have worked towards is, you know, pretty much in a little bit of a higher budget scenario. I have a G face and stuff like that, but we'll talk about like the higher end gear momentarily. The character itself, leveling it and putting stat points in and skill points is pretty straightforward. You're going to put in an absolute enough strength, just enough to wear all of your gear and just enough to equip your claws. So you want to make sure that that's really important, that you have both enough strength and enough dex at the minimum to equip your gear. Once you do that, you throw the rest of it into life or vitality and you're pretty much straightforward and good to go. As far as your skill points go, we are going to max out Claw and Dagger Mastery. This is going to give us our damage, our attack, our chance for critical strike. This skill is just absolutely positively busted beyond belief, literally beyond belief. We then take 1 point in Burst of Speed because Burst of Speed is broken, 1 point into Fade in case you do ever need it, and then we're going to be maxing out Venom, as Venom will give us a ton of extra damage, and we're just going to pop Venom on, we're going to go clear a map, and we are straight sailing to the moon and back. Venom is actually so strong that a lot of players decide to pre-buff going into maps, and I had mentioned this earlier. On my weapon swap, I actually have 2+3 to Venom claws, and before I get rolling, I just press the weapon swap button, I click on my Venom, it does 3,200 damage, it adds right onto my Whirlwind, and then I swap back to my main setup and start whirlwinding. It's so strong to get the plus claws to Venoms. You see here, my Venom is 3,200 damage, and when I swap back to my regular setup, my Venom is only 2,500 damage. So just getting the claws and having them up and running gives you an extra 1,000 damage, which is like completely and utterly bonkers. We have 1 point into Weapon Block, which we'll put more points into later. And then we're going to put points, 1 point into Blade Sentinel, 1 point into Blade Fury, and then we're going to be maxing out Blade Shield. We max out Blade Shield because it attacks all the time for us. It's constantly always hitting, and it's triggering things like our amp damage. It's just a really good skill to have rolling. And as side of that, we put 1 point into Dragonflight because we want to use Dragonflight to reposition ourselves as we need. We're going to be taking 1 point into Tiger Strike, and then we're going to be maxing out Cobra Strike as it is a synergy to Venom. Cobra Strike just gives us a lot of damage. We're never going to use Cobra Strike ever, but Cobra Strike gives us an absolute ton of damage. Now, as far as everything else goes, Tiger Strike in itself is a 1 point wonder, and we're going to talk about this for a second. Tiger Strike says consecutive hits adds bonuses based on the amount of charges you have available and deplete on a third attack. We are never actually using Tiger Strike to deplete the charges and have Tiger Strike go off. Instead, we are charging Tiger Strike to 3. And when we have it charged to 3, it's a 300% bonus damage, which we don't get because we're not attacking with Tiger Strike, but you do get 40% melee splash radius with, when testing, it does seem to affect Cyclone or Whirlwind. So essentially you go into a map, you Venom, you Burst of Speed, you Blade Shield, and you set up Tiger Strike, and then you just run your map pretty much hitting the world because you have an extra 40% melee splash on top of everything that you're doing. When I found out that's how this works and I started testing it, it's a night and day difference seeing how this works. It is an absolutely fantastic skill. After you max out Cobra Strike, after you max out Blade Shield, after you max out Venom, and after you max out Claw and Dagger Mastery, you have freedom for points. I put in a lot of points in the weapon block so that I can get the faster block rate and the parry chance up a little bit. And now that I've gotten to a point where it really doesn't scale too much more, I'm going to be dumping a bunch of points into Fade so that I can do harder content and try to push my way a little bit deeper into Ubers with this character. I don't think I'll be able to do declone, but I'm sure as hell going to try. Now, With the complete budget gear, I'm just going to take a very basic tier 1 map. We're going to take this sewers map. We're going to throw it into our cube. We're going to cube it with a thing to turn it rare. This is like very basic, very simple. It's +1 rarity of levels. And we're going to just kind of put in and corrupt it. And we have a nice little map. Now, we're not going to complete the whole map. We're going to start the map. We're going to start going through the map. You'll see how the character plays inside of a map. And then we're going to talk about better gear, come back in and finish the map with better gear to show the difference in gear and how it's worth it to upgrade the character. So we're going to come into here. We're going to pre-buff with our Venom. We're going to swap back. We're going to buff with our Blade Dance. We're going to blade with our burst of speed and our blade, not our blade dance, with our blade shield. And we're just going to get ready to do the map. We do 6,400 damage. We have 0 resistances at all. And we're going to pray to God that we just kind of don't get clapped every step of the way. Now you see this mob right here. We instantly 100% kill these mobs, no problem. And the only thing that we need to do now is get our Tiger Strike up and running. You can see Tiger Strike when I hit the mob and I don't mess it up. You can see the little orbs going around me and I have full set of Tiger Strike. And I'm just going to start blitzing through this map pretty much without a problem. Hopefully we get something really cool. That would be really nice. But you see the mobs in here, not a problem at all. Very straightforward, very easy. You know, you really playing this build just don't have a care in the world about anything. Like anything at all. The only thing that you worry about is like crazy fanaticism, lunatics that shoot you from off screen. You see amp damage is going off, and we're just able to just hold right click and just completely blitz our way through this map. Everything is dying. Our Merc doesn't even have a chance to do anything. He's pretty much just there to look pretty and give us Defiance Aura for a little bit of extra defenses. And we just kind of just go about our business, one-tapping everything. Everything's just falling over. And before anybody says anything, the map was indeed rolled. Let's go take a look at the rolls on the map again. Now this map is +1 level. It has Fizz as extra cold. It has Shrieking Terrors. It has monsters have increased velocity. Monsters have lightning absorb. And Fizz is extra. When we have no cold resistance, it means that we should just be completely falling over and dying right away. But you see, these mobs, they don't even have the absolute chance to even consider trying to hit us because we just keep whirlwinding and all of the mobs fall right over. We hop right into this big pack of mobs. You see them dying, you see them exploding. That was a rare mob. He is just completely and utterly dead. Maybe we can find the map boss really quick and just kill the map boss in this setup. Let's see. Just kind of blitz past everything. Unless we drop something completely crazy, we're just not going to stop for it. When I'm mapping on this character and I'm focused and I'm not talking to Twitch chat or I'm not talking to YouTube and I'm just kind of like completely focused, I blitz these maps in no time at all. Tier 1 maps, they take, 10 minutes maybe. They're just so fast. You don't have to think, you don't have to worry. You can do any map mods that you want. You can corrupt your maps to the juiciest of juiciest maps and you can just really do your own thing. Now, this character is just completely fun, and you really shouldn't have a single problem at all clearing any of the content with this, like, at all. I have managed, like I said, to start and do Ubers. Ooh, oh, wait, that's the good one. That's the good one. Give me this one. Yo, sick. That's the awesome one. All right, let's kill this guy really quick. Oh, yes. Give me it. The only downside to this character is every so often you're going to have to rebuff. The buffs don't last too crazy long. They're like 5 minutes. So like if you're just like kind of lollygagging all around, yeah, your 5 minutes will like be up in no time at all. But you can see we got our catalyst shards. We feel really good. And is this the map boss over here? He should be really close, right? He should be like super close, right? He's got to be like right around here somewhere. Let's see. Now this character, you should be able to farm tier 1 maps, Chaos Sanctuary, the pit, pretty much anywhere that you want to farm to get the gear to move it up in gear. And we'll talk about, oh, there he is. I found him. All right, let's see. Let's see how this goes. Okay. We did indeed have to rejuve once. You can see on my belt, I have used one rejuve for the entire fight, and that was it, man. One potion to just pretty much kill the map boss. Just completely negative resistances, not a care in the world. Now, let's put the rest of the gear on and let's talk about this character and where we go with it and how we upgrade it. Eventually, you're going to want to replace the Jade Talon and you're going to want to replace the Bartox. They are really, really solid starter claws. They will get you rolling and help you clear content, but eventually you're going to want to make yourself a really nice crafted claw. This one isn't even that nice. This is just something I managed to craft. And if you don't know how to craft yourself a claw, I actually have a crafting video on the YouTube channel. You can click on that and it'll actually walk you through all the steps on how to craft your own claw. I actually do claw examples in that video, which should be able to help you out. This claw just has two like 35 ED jewels in it just to kind of get rolling. Our gloves, we're going to be using big boy gloves. We're going to be using soul drainers. We are indeed a fizz build, and soul drainers will give us the minus max physical reduction, and we pretty much get more damage, and we hit so often and so hard that it's just completely cracked. We also get minus 50 monster defense per hit, and since we hit 100 million times a second, we just rip away all of their defenses all of together. Our helmet's pretty straightforward. We are indeed going to be using the G-Face helmet. My helmet has 3 runes in it. My helmet is the same helmet I used on my paladin. I picked this thing up for a Vex with 2 runes in it. I was just like, sell it to me, I'm in. This covers all of my resistances. It gives me deadly strike, crushing blow, everything I need for this character to really start to ramp it up. In terms of progression and where to go, in terms of like gearing, I would get soul drainers because they just add so much to the build. I would get the G-Face to get yourself resistances, and if you ever run across one high rune or one low rune, I would work your way towards Fortitude. Fortitude is going to be the body armor that we're going to be using here. Fortitude just gives you so much damage, so much life, so much resistances, pretty much everything that you want this character to do. Fortitude does it for you. It is strong, it is fantastic, it is awesome, and it is a great boost, but you do not need it right away. You saw I was able to do that map with this rattle cage. My damage was still insane, but Fortitude will get you to where you want to be in terms of raw power. We're not going to change our belts or our rings, but we are indeed going to change our boots. We're going to replace our Nats boots eventually with a pair of Gore Riders. Gore Riders are going to give us that crushing blow, deadly strike, open wounds, just raw damage. If you don't want so much damage or you think you do too much damage, you could put on some more Travs. They will also give you a little bit of magic find, a little extra damage, but I found Gore Riders to be really awesome. I'm a big fan in this mod of just going fast, so I don't do as much magic find as I would like, but sometimes every so often when I'm doing lesser content, I'll put on War Travs instead of Gore Riders. Okay, we're gonna put this away and this away and this away, and we're gonna move down the line. As far as charms and stuff go, you see in this little demo here, we really didn't have anything going on for us. We had a 19 life res charm, a lightning res charm, a small life res charm, a max damage attack rating strength charm, a life charm with resistances, a max damage attack rating, life and resistances, and then this is faster hit recovery and faster hit recovery. So our charms themselves weren't really very good. We had a Geet's Fortune because it was just there and I didn't have room to take it off, but the rest of our charms are going to be Shadow Discipline Skillers. These are really, really strong for the build and do exactly what they want, or what we personally want them to do. They are just going to give us a absolute metric ton of more damage, and they're going to scale all of the essential skills in this build. They are going to scale our Claw and Dagger Mastery, giving us more damage. They are going to scale our Weapon Block, giving us more survivability. They are going to scale our Burst of Speed and our Fade, and they're going to, most importantly, scale our Venom, giving us tons and tons and tons of more damage. My skillers have life on them, and my skillers, oh, this one's not a skiller actually. My skillers have life on them and faster hit recovery. With the skillers, I managed to get to the 86 breakpoint for faster hit recovery. You really don't need super much faster hit recovery. My buddy Diggs doesn't really use any at all. I use 86. You can play around with the faster hit recovery and see what feels comfortable for you. My last 2 grand chumps currently are faster hit recovery and attack rating and faster hit recovery all resistance. These will eventually get replaced with skillers. I just haven't had a chance today to go out and buy the skillers and look for them and replace them. Lastly, we have 2 sockets. You see, I didn't even have a torch on. We have a basic torch that we can add, and we have a nihilist that we can add. I didn't, dude, and I didn't even have it on, like in that little test. The rest of our gear and the rest of our currency is going 100% into our mercenary. Our mercenary is the complete bread and butter. Right now in the budget setup, we have the Reaper's Toll for the amp damage. We have the Andariels with a 15 IS jewel for attack speed. We have the Stone for a little bit of survivability, Venom Grip for a little bit of damage, Gore Riders because they're cracked, and String of Ears because String of Ears is really good. When you go to upgrade your mercenary, you will upgrade him with a couple of things. One, you will get him a Pride. I know somebody's going to be like, oh my God, you do not need the Pride right away. It is an upgrade. It is an aspirational item that you will eventually get to, and it is really strong. The Pride is going to give you concentration aura, which is going to give you more damage and more attack rating. I know it's expensive, but it should be aspirational, and it's just giving you an upgrade path. I will say when I put this on my character, it was the night and day difference. And I really, after you get this ball rolling and the character is farming and your character feels comfortable in tier 3 maps, I really suggest saving for this. I know it sounds expensive, but it will make all the difference. Outside of that, I did get my guy set up with a Templar's Might. I don't know why I can't equip it. I think I strength bugged it onto my dude. Uh-oh. Oh no, dude. Can I not wear it now? I guess I need some strength to put on my Templar's Might again. But I did have a Templar's Might for my guy. It gives him an absolute metric ton of survivability, all resistance, curse resistance, a might aura that stacks with concentration aura. And it's just, you know, it's just a really strong option. How the heck do I get this back on, my dude? I don't even know what I did or how I busted him. Uh-oh. Do I have a way to get it on? I might not. We might be in a really awkward position here. Can I do this to get it on? I need a lot of strength to get it on. 245, is that enough? That's enough, right? That's enough, right? He's got enough strength wearing it, so I just had to get it on him. Oh, I love this game, dude. I really do. So yeah, our Merc, he's just cracked out of his mind, dude. We give him the Lay on Hands and the Templar's Might. Because we have Templar's Might and Lay on Hands and Andes, and our Templar's Might has 45% IS, we are able to use a Ghost Spear for our base. He currently, because he needs the IS really bad. He just does. You need the IS to hit the 105 breakpoint to get 8 frames a second. Otherwise, he attacks way too slow. But we use Ghost Spear because Ghost Spear is the best scaling space for top end damage to use with Pride. And it says enhance maximum damage based on character level. So you use it so that you can hit really hard. TLDR, you need the IS to hit the breakpoints. The breakpoints make him attack faster. He attacks faster, he survives. You want him to have Pride because it's more damage. And then you want Might Aura because it's more damage. And you saw in that last map, we were like 5,600 damage. If I come into here and I buff up, I just doubled all my damage, putting all my gear on. The gear gets expensive. The character gets expensive. It gets expensive quick, but to get it started and rolling, it is very straightforward. Like I said, I mentioned, you get the claw, you start with the claw, you put the budget gear on, you get the soul drainers, the G phase, so you have extra leech, extra damage, extra resistances. You have the Atmos so that you can break resistances, and then you work towards the fortitude. Once you have the fortitude and the fortitude is on and you feel like Jesus, you then work on the rest of your gear because you're already hitting everything to the moon and back, and Goku can't even charge up high enough to kill you. Then you just work on the Pride, and once you have the Pride and the Merc is set up with the Pride, then you work on the materials. It should be aspirational. It should take you time to get there. And overall, like I said and mentioned, the character in itself is very good, very strong, very straightforward. And if I hop into another game really quick and I just set it up real fast with the map, we'll go to the mapping supplies, we'll scour our map, we'll upgrade our map to rare, we'll take a look. That's not hard enough. Let's make this map really hard, and then I can show you just how crazy it gets. Extra poison, fizz, enhanced damage, monster velocity minus defense. Probably not hard enough, right? Contains poison damage. Slam this map. 100 monsters have 200% fizz. Players have faster hit recovery. Monsters have a 14% increased life. Not good enough. Is this hard enough? Let's see. Can we get something really, really hard going? Said slam this map. Nope. Roll it again. Let's see, we want something really good. Monsters have poison damage. Monsters have fizz damage. Monsters have lightning damage. Monsters have absorb. No, we want fizz is extra. Tons of fizz is extra. Monsters have attack rating and pierce, enhanced damage, cold damage, crushing blow. Monsters have lightning absorb. All right, we'll do this one. Warning, contains projectile pierce. Sure, we'll do this one. What I want to show now is if I slam this map and I do all of the fun stuff that I would do to a map, and I would make this map big and hard. 166 density, a lot of experience, monsters have max life, monsters can't be frozen, monsters do like everything. My point is when you get this character rolling and you step into this big juicer map, you will just clear content and it won't be a problem. So we'll open the map. We'll go right in. We'll buff our venom. We'll do this. We'll do this. We're at 10k damage. We'll get our Tiger Strike up and running really quick. Well, we don't want to die. So we'll get our Tiger Strike up and running. I will hide my face so that you guys can see my health bar throughout this entire map, so you know just how crazy it is. We'll loot our free Bartucks because why not? And then we'll just kind of, you know, do our thing. I think our Merc died like immediately. Should probably go get him back. Yeah, I mean, we could probably survive a little bit without him. Not that big of a deal, right? I think that little hiccup at the beginning of the map insta-killed him. You see all the mobs, extra life, extra damage, extra everything. We just whirlwind right through them, no problem at all. We're gonna go get our Merc. I'm gonna do this with the mercenary. Come down over here, come back to Qualkek.
Yes.
Grab him, and we're gonna just look at him Mazan and say, listen, Mazan, I understand that you had a problem in like 10 seconds ago, but let's cut that out and let's not do that again. And you can see right away just the damage difference with having the mercenary up. I actually have the Act 2 mercenary with Defiance because I want the extra survivability, not even for me, but for him. I guess this map is just too crazy, and he's just, you know, never going to survive. We took a hit there, the monster's pierce, everything's a little crazy, this archer's gotta die, and you see at that point right there, we didn't even have to panic to full rejuve. I just wanted to showcase just the power of how strong Leech was in a really crazy map. You see, we go through this map, no problem at all. Just come here, dude, you're cruising, man. Just absolutely cruising, no fear, no hesitation, no nothing, brother. Nice, dude, looking good. Let's see if we can find the map boss really quick to showcase the kill on the map boss. We just dive right into all of these mobs, no fear at all. Dude, you can't even like, see, look, man, you're just going, bro. You're just killing everything. Everything's falling right over. We took a hit there. We almost got one tap. I don't know what the hell exploded there, but something hit me with like the power of the brute force of 1,000 suns, and we shook it off because, baby, we are spinning to win, my guy. Oh, all right, we got clipped. We're dead. No, dude, all of my gold. No, flash archers. There you go. We're dead. Everybody point and laugh at the streamer. He died. Dude, I think we just kind of got one tap there. I don't even know. All right, we're going back in. And this time we're hoping our homie doesn't die this time. We're going back in and we're kicking ass and taking names. All right. All right. No more putzing around, mister. You don't make number 28 on the death counter. Oh, God. Oh, we're dead. Oh. Blade dance unequipped. Oh, because we died. I'm so not used to that anymore. All right. See? No problem at all. Worry free. There you go. All right. Did say I would find the map boss. Maybe we stop messing around with all these other little mobs. We go take a look at them. I will say one of the best things about this character is just because of how well it plays and how fast it farms, how fast it does everything. It's so satisfying to map with. It's absolutely so satisfying to map with. You just can't go wrong. You just spin and things die and they fall over and you have nothing to worry about. And it seems that our mercenary has decided that he is no longer going to be the victim of demise and he's just going to keep surviving. I think the map boss is past that thing in the middle over there. You just go backwards now, right? I just kind of kill this really quick, go over here. Where's that lumber? I don't want that. Ah, grab this. All right. Ah, this is the room. Oh, look, fanaticism mobs. Great. Everybody's favorite mobs. The Hydras actually are like a pain. All right, let's bring him over here. We don't want him to die yet. Where is the map boss? Is he not like just like right here? Did we kill him accidentally? I don't think we accidentally killed him. Should be a little ghoul guy, right? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Kill our mercenary. There you go. There you have it. Easy peasy, bro. Easy peasy. All right, the last thing that I will leave you with, and I'm sure you're gonna say, oh my God, if you've made it to this far in the video, you're going to want to play the character, you're going to ask me how to level it. There are two ways to level it. You can level this character completely Wake of Fire, Wake of Inferno, and then respec after you get some levels. But actually what I did is I started off and I put a bunch of points in Claw and Dagger Mastery. I then leveled Blade Sentinel, Blade Fury, and Blade Shield. I leveled all of these all the way to 20 each, and I just kind of cruised through the entire game. I never had a problem once. The Blade Sentinel is probably the most busted thing I ever played with in terms of leveling, and you were able to just clear all of the content as a leveling character by just leveling Blade Sentinel. Gear didn't matter, weapon didn't matter, nothing mattered. Blade Sentinel just took care of everything. And you level Blade Sentinel, you get to all the gear, or you get to the budget gear to put on, and then you're respec into the Venom character. But yeah, that's really it. If you like this video, please don't hesitate to leave a like, a comment, a share, and at the end now, I'll put the little clip in for killing Ubers with the character. But thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support. And if you like this guy, please, let somebody know, or even let me know. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys. Go finish the rest of that map, and see you all in the next one.